So chapter 7 is called Spider Monkey. My phone tells me it's almost midnight. I have no reception, no Wi-Fi and no 4G, so it's pretty useless for any kind of communication, but it's handy as a torch and I like the reassuring feel of it in my pocket. Just in case I text my mum asking her to send help. I know it's not going to get through, but it would be stupid not to, right? What's our next move? Max says. I've been thinking about this. We have to warn the others. Why? Max says. They chose to snuggle up in the dining room and hope for the best. They could have come with us, and they didn't. But still, I say, we have to try. It's the right thing to do. You know Trent would never do this for you, don't you? Says Adrienne. I know, I say, but for once Trent isn't the enemy. We're under attack from a non-human, aka alien force. We have to stick together, and above all else we must remember what makes us human. I say this partly because it's in all the alien invasion movies, but also because I've always felt compelled to try to keep people safe. It's my thing. Besides, it's in every zombie apocalypse story ever. If you act like a jerk and wimp out at helping others, you always come to an especially bad end, usually with screaming and lots of blood. Maybe some guts spattered across the wall. So we go to the dining hall and knock? Katya asks. It's worth a try. I zip up my backpack and sling it over my shoulders. They might have food in there, Chet says. I can get some supplies. For all of us, I mean. Well, let's get this over with before Hosh and Digger realise we're onto them. Mac pulls on a baseball cap. Adrienne leads the way out of the boat shed and back around the lake towards the centre. We sprint past the main entrance, back round to the fire exit that we used to get out. Don't these doors only open from the inside? Katya says. Yes, I say, which is why I used a fire extinguisher to prop it open when we left. Are you sure this is your first alien invasion? Big Mac says. You act like you're like a pro. Strategy, Chet says, is one of Lance's best skills. Well, I shrug. That and my famous film and TV character impressions. You could have your own TV show, says Katya. Will you all please focus, Adrienne says. We need to be quiet. We don't know if Miss Hosh and Digger are back in the building. We need to stay alert. We tiptoe through the empty corridors. They have those lights that automatically flick on when you get close so we can see, but it feels like we're going to be discovered at any moment. When we reach the dining hall, Chet knocks on the door. I know we're trying to be stealthy, Chet, but they actually need to hear the knock. Invisible sound isn't going to cut it. He knocks again, much louder. We wait. Screw this, Max says, and pushes the door. It doesn't budge. He grabs the handles with both hands and pushes and pulls as hard as he can. Guys, he calls, are you alive in there? We need to speak to you. There's a rattling on the other side as he shakes the doors, but no answer. Oh well, we tried, he says. We need to know if they're okay, says Katya. Is there another way in? Only those windows, says Chet, but they're super high up. Let's go round the other side and check them out. We sneak out of the building again and follow it round to the back of the dining hall. I look up at the windows. They really are high. If you stood 4 large elephants on top of each other, though I don't know if that's possible because although elephants can always stand on balls in cartoons, so I know they're good at balancing, I don't know if the bottom one could take the weight of the other 3. Anyway, the top elephant would probably be able to peep into one of the dining hall windows. No way any of us are going to be able to climb up there, Max says. I think I can, Katya says quietly, almost like she's ashamed of it, which is ridiculous, because anyone who could climb even half that high would legit be a savage. Are you sure, Katya? Chet looks at the wall and then back at Katya. If she says she can, she can, Adrienne says. I don't know why you would doubt her. Is it because she's a human person and not Spider-Man, I say. Yes, it is. I'll give it a try, Katya says. Don't all stare at me though, it'll put me off. We won't stare, Chet says. And then we all stare as she grabs hold of her pipe and starts climbing up the wall like a flipping monkey. My mistake, I say. She is Spider-Man. Katya makes it to the window. The light from inside illuminates her face, making her look like a golden wall-climbing angel. She has her elbow hooked around the pipe and her toes balancing on a piece of metal screwed into the wall. It's only about 20 centimetres long, and not the one thing I'd like standing between me and certain death, but she seems pretty chill about it. She uses her other hand to push at the window. It doesn't budge. She raps on it as hard as she can without losing her balance, and then grabs onto the pipe again and clambers down. When she reaches the ground, I hear everyone make a sound with their mouths. "They're in there," she says, slightly out of breath. "They're playing cards and chatting in groups, and listening to music, I think." "Did they see or hear you?" I ask. "No, they were all mucking around, so I think it was quite noisy." "They must have a lookout, though," I say. She shakes her head. "Idiots," says Mac, which is basically what we're all thinking. "Are any of them asleep?" I ask. "Didn't look like it," she says. "Some of them were sleeping bags laid out on the floor, but nobody was lying down." Then it isn't too late for them. I push my hair back with my hand, trying to think for a moment. "Look, we don't know how the spores are getting inside people, but we know they turn bug-eyed when they fall asleep. If one of that lot falls asleep in there, all of them could be in danger." "But the bug-eyes don't seem that dangerous," Chet says. "Well, the worker bugs don't, but the hunter bugs will be," I say. "What if one of them wakes up as a hunter?" "I think we also need to consider the fact that a lot of their behaviour has been very wasp-like so far," says Adrienne. "And even worker wasps will sting if one of the nest is attacked. They release a pheromone or something, and it puts all the others in defensive mode." "Are you saying they're alien wasp people?" says Chet. "I'm saying we don't know what they are." Adrienne has her hands on her hips. "So we have to consider all options. I don't think we should antagonise any of them." "So how can we get a message to the others?" Katya says. "There's the tannoy system," says Chet. "But everyone will hear it. Hosh will know we're onto her." Big Mac is leaning against the wall, eating what looks like bird seeds. "And she'll know exactly where to find us if we get to the tannoy microphone to give them the message," I say. "So we make the message quick and then run," Adrienne says. "Hide somewhere." "We need a place they won't think of," says Katya, "or somewhere they wouldn't want to go." "That's it," I say. "The cold. They don't like the cold. They keep everything hot in the building. They had that heater out by the dam. Digger almost fainted when pre-bug Hosh asked for some cold drinks. He made us hot soup for dinner, in this heat, for flip's sake." "And this whole place is like an oven," says Katya. "Well, there must be a fridge," says Mac. "They must have a giant fridge to keep the milk and stuff in." "And where would the tannoy mic be?" I ask. "It can only be in the admin office," says Adrienne. "I saw it on the map, so I can get us there." "Awesome," I say. I love having a plan. "So, office then fridge?" "I'm not sure it's a perfect plan," says Chet. "It's far from perfect," I say, "but it's all we've got. And we're going to give it a try either way, right?" "Right," everyone says, and we slink back into the centre.